Welcome to the Verdin Verdict Sports Show. I'm your host, Jacob Verdin. Got G Sports with me after LSU's third victory in a row in 3 games. G, 3-0. How you feeling? How was your weekend?
I would feel a little better if the Saints was moving into the right direction. But obviously, like I said in the summertime, it's gonna be a long, long season.
It will be. At least you got your expectation right, so you're not gonna get too upset about it. Everybody sees the title, they see the thumbnail. I don't want to keep y'all waiting too long. Let's talk about the injury report. Brian Kelly just got on the podium, talked about West Weeks, said that he has a calf strain. Not as bad as they initially thought. He's in a boot right now, probably only for a few days, and they expect it to be a very short-term injury. Now, your signal caller, your quarterback, the man under center, Garrett Nussmeier, he has a torso injury. G. Apparently, the torso injury happened during fall camp. He's played the entire season with it. It's nothing big. It's a minor injury. However, there's a couple of things that I want to pick your brain about. When you have a torso injury, obviously, you're turning your body, you're rotating, you're throwing, it can affect things. LSU's offense looked conservative through the first 3 weeks, for a lack of a better word. Do you think this potentially has played into the play calling and the lack of points, quite frankly? Because right now you're sitting at 20 points per game on average while allowing 9 points per game on the defense.
No, I don't think the torso injury has anything to do with them not scoring a lot of points. Go back, we threw a dot deep to Barry and Brown, which they called a completion, and then overturned it and said he didn't complete the catch.
True.
What about the one when he's rolling out all the way to the right and he got Kyle Parker coming across the field and he throws across his body on the money? So I don't think the torso injury has anything to do with the play calling or how many or the lack of points they've scored. To be honest with you, I wish BK would have kind of left this out and kind of just kept that in the building, because now, even though he did allude to saying that it's not anything serious, people in the media and fans are going to take this and run with it as if this is an excuse onto why LSU's offense hasn't been what we thought it was going to be.
And we kind of saw this at the end of fall camp in terms of a pitch count, because they had a scrimmage to close out the season in Tiger Stadium. We got to go, and Nussmeier did not throw a single pass. It was just straight handoffs, and we thought, better safe than sorry. This makes more sense. But building off of your point, it's not anything drastic. And I'm going to be thankful for that. Very grateful, because, I mean, preseason, we're talking about, oh, my God, Garrett Nussmeier's in a knee sleeve, and there's limited mobility, and we're stressing about all kind of things. So, I mean, we've made it out kind of unscathed. Yeah, Trudez Green's had his, sideline moment. But at the end of the day, like you said, Nussmeier has let it loose a couple of times. Now, yeah, obviously there's going to be some more things we wish we could see from this offense. Run game, obviously more points. I think that's kind of going to come as time passes. Like we keep saying, you got to build that offensive identity. But look, bro, offense kind of been getting a little scrutiny. Obviously, Brian Kelly opened the press conference a little pissed off, G, after the Florida game. Go ahead, play the clip for the fans. Let everybody see. Oh, G popped out, but I'm still going to play the clip for y'all. Brian Kelly, this was his reaction to the game.
Micro, you're looking at this from the LSU won the football game, won the game. I don't know what you want from me. What do you want? You want us to win 70-0 against Florida to keep you happy?
No, I think people want to know why you can't run the ball, quite honestly.
We can run the ball. Did you see the last play of the game? That's all you need. You just need one. There's a ridiculous questions.
And I'm gonna say something interesting. Look, BK, and you got to stand up for the team, right? There's going to be a lot of pushback from something like this. I like it because there's going to be two ways you go about it. Gee, if he don't say nothing and he gives into the comments, now they're going to say, oh, well, he's talking bad about his team multiple weeks in a row, or he keeps, criticizing Sloan, or whatever the case may be. Everybody's going to have a narrative, whatever way you go. But what Brian Kelly did right there was show his team, yeah, I'm going to stand up for y'all. People are going to say something. All right, cool. Y'all did what y'all had to do, got the victory. Wasn't pretty. But, man, the defense just got 5 picks. Let's celebrate a little bit. Now, what's your take on it, though? Because that's an optimistic take, but.
All right.
Oh.
So I'm on both sides of the fence right here. I thought the person that asked the question.
Wait, G, are you on Wi-Fi? Check your Wi-Fi real quick. It's kind of laggy. Check your Wi-Fi. It's kind of freezing up like before.
I don't know being on Wi-Fi, man.
Okay. Well, I'll just try to pick it up then. Yeah, it's kind of cutting up.
Still lagging?
Yeah. It's looking all right now. Go ahead. Say what you were saying.
Dang, you made me lose my train of thought.
BK defending his team.
Oh, yeah. I'm on both sides of the fence right now with this. So, number one, I thought the reporter could have waited maybe after about 2 or 3 questions was asked to probably throw that in about the offense.
Mm-hmm.
Secondly, when Brian Kelly gave him his answer and then he said, well, I think people want to know why you can't run the ball. I felt like his response was out of line, and it was the tone, it was the way he said it, and I think that's what got Brian Kelly really pissed off. The way he kind of drew back at him in that manner, bro. I thought that was a little bit much.
They're combative,
so, yeah, like he was trying to get controversial with BK on a cool. So I thought that he could have handled that a little better, but him asking Brian Kelly about the offense and them not being able to convert on third down, not being able to run the ball, I thought that was fair questions. I just thought the timing of it right after the big, he could have waited to the press conference or maybe after 2 or 3 questions. That's just my personal opinion.
Yeah,
but I like how BK took up first team.
There's no telling what happened in the locker room. He probably just spoke to the team, real passionate, emotions flying, and you get right into the press conference and you don't got no time to get any of your emotions settled, G. I mean, you know how it is, man, just being on the sidelines, seeing a final play of a game or whatnot. It's hard not to get excited, not to get mixed into it. Imagine being the head coach, dog. Got 100,000 people, millions of people talking about every single decision you do. It's going to get to a point where you have a response like that. I don't think BK was out of line. I feel like, if I was a head coach, hey, man, I get pissed off when I lose CFB games, G. I ain't going to lie to you. If I had to do a post-game presser every time I lost a CFB game, I'd have a clip every week.
Well, guess what? You have a clip every week playing somebody like me.
Oh, here we go. I ain't even gonna lie. Probably damn so, G. I need to get right, man. Look, hey, we won 2 national championships on Ultimate Team, though. So we shaking back. I might be ready soon. I don't know about today, but I might be ready soon. Cute. Look, I look like DJ Lagway at times, G. I ain't gonna lie. I'm surprised Floby not in the chat yet, bro. DJ giveaway. I've been seeing that trending on Twitter. I don't want to rip him too hard. I still think he's got good potential. I'm going to double down on the take we've had. Yeah, it was a horrible game. It happens. You throw 49 attempts, 5 picks, not the best game. I think Billy Napier definitely could have potentially lost a team. I don't want to blow things out of proportion. I want to ask you 2 questions. The first one, did you see the video where they were doing the Florida alma mater and there's like 7 players out there? Everybody else is in the locker room. I don't want to blow it out of proportion. Interesting. LSU wouldn't do that on the road. Second question. What's going on with Billy Napier, and is he on the hot seat? Uh-oh.
Yeah, I do think that's very, very disturbing to see only 7 players standing out there for the alma mater. And when I'm mistaken, that's a tradition. Majority of the schools, win or lose, you beat and you do the alma mater. So I don't know what went into that. I'm sure he addressed it. He's definitely on the hot seat, bro. I mean, there's no other way to slice it. You 1-2, you 20 and 21 in your 4 years at Florida. Now they're comparing him to Dan Mullen and saying how did Dan Mullen get fired, and Dan Mullen's 3-0 at UNLV, and they just throwing all type of stuff out there. Now Lane Kiffin name is coming up about possibly coming to Florida at season's end. So I think with this schedule coming up, man, Nate got a tough road ahead of him. He would have to probably upset 2 of these opponents coming up to still be able to save his job, in my opinion.
And that's a gauntlet, bro. Like, that's asking for a lot. That's a lot of tough teams that they're about to play. LSU's gauntlet.
But this the thing too when you talk about Florida, and this what I really can't wrap my head around. People be talking about them as if they horrible, as if they don't have talent, as if they defense ain't one of the best defenses in the country. So people kind of be going overboard with how bad Florida is. Nah, I will agree with this. I do think the execution is very, very suspect. I do think the play calling could be a little better. And I know he called the plays. And people have asked him the time since he's been at Florida, will you continue to call the plays? Consider hiring an offensive coordinator to call plays, and he stands on saying that he will be the play caller. And I think, as Nate continues to progress in his career, I think he might have to change that, bro. Some people are not cut out to be the head coach and call plays at the same time. That's a tall, tall task. I think Mike Norvell saved this job by doing that this season, going out and hiring Gus Malzahn and just being able to oversee the team and be a head. Wants to be to have his hands in everything that's going on, special teams, defense, offense, throughout the whole course of a game, instead of having to have the play calling do this and a lot. And I feel like Nate need to really consider that going forward, bro.
No, I agree. Yeah, because it's a completely different era of college football, not only in a play calling regime, but dude, just in a roster management regime. Like we can talk about Austin Thomas and the general manager role. Coach Kelly said, "Oh, well, I normally had my hands on all kind of things like this," and now he had to relinquish those type of powers to somebody. You're not in a spot where focusing on everything, like doing less is more. Put it that way. Doing too much, sometimes you're going to put yourself in a situation where you don't have enough attention into certain things, and now the whole overall product will suffer.
And then too, what people don't take into account, just because you got an offensive coordinator and you might not be necessarily calling the plays, you still gonna have your imprint on how you want the game to be called. You still gonna be in there with your OC game planning throughout the week, saying, "Look, I like these plays. When we get in this certain down in distance, I want you to call this. I want us to target this guy so many times. I want us to be, You can still have your imprint on the offense." So I don't know why some head coaches get so bent out of shape about allocating that duty to an offensive coordinator and just being the overseer. That's just my personal opinion about it.
Yeah, definitely a pride thing, probably. But I think it's interesting. It's like a tale of two coaches at this point, because you got Billy Napier on the hot seat at this point, and then you got Blake Baker. If there was a coaching search, if there's one out of school, his name's probably going to be in every single one. He's as hot as I could be. Like I said, 9 points per game allowing for the opponent. And dog, he has failed himself. Like you said, 5 picks, need the 5 guys NIL deal, retweeting that. Buddy gets on Twitter, hits the Kobe GIF, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like, bro, the swag was on a million. This is LSU defense. I'm not gonna lie. From the Bayou Bandits tees to everybody flying around, Deshaun Spears getting SEC Defensive Player of the Week, 2 picks, not 1, 2, got a touchdown. And he had 11 tackles, leading in tackles, leading in picks, scoring. I mean, this defense at, like you said, every single level has something that is capable of wrecking your game. This defense is, look, I keep saying top 5. We got to start having a conversation on, is this the best defense in college football? Like, you're seriously asking yourself this question. And you got Harold Perkins, you got Will Weeks, you got the edges everywhere, 2 rotations of them. You got Mansour Delane, who Nick Saban pulled film tape on for College Game Day, did like a 3-minute segment on Mansour Delane and why he's elite and why he's this and why he's that. Like, you have an insane amount of depth and players at LSU right now for this defense. It's interesting because this is a completely different flip. I want to ask you this question. I saw this on social media today. Bring it back to the offensive side. Chris Hilton's dad, not happy with the targets. 3 games, 4 targets, senior wide receiver. Brian Kelly said today in the presser, you got to get him involved more. I'm going to double down on what we were talking about earlier with the Nussmeier injury. Now, does that play into it? Because if he does have an issue, hypothetically, not saying he does, if he does, then Chris Hilton will probably be affected because that's your vertical threat. He's a guy that's going to be down in the field, not really doing these short, twitchy routes. But what do you think about this, his involvement, and how they're going to have to get him back up to speed, if you will?
Well, if you paid attention to the Florida game, they ran a lot of 2-high safety looks, which lets me know they didn't want to allow people like Chris Hilton and Barry Brown to get behind those explosive plays. So I think the fans watching the game, they're not taking all that. BK alluded to this where he was telling Sloan to pump the brakes, manage the game. I think he didn't want to try to take down the field against Florida's defense because why? That's a really good team over there. They got a really good front seven. They got a really good secondary. They got length back there. They got veterans. These guys is probably a top 7, top 5 defense in the country. So when Chris Hilton daddy makes a post like this, I just think that you got to be careful, man. You got to be careful of poisoning not only the locker room, but getting guys to start turning against their teammate. And I'm not saying that's what's going on in the building, but I'm just saying you gotta be real mindful of that. I think he should have really thought about what he was doing before he posted it. You know, if you got a problem or y'all have a concern about what's going on with Chris Hilton's targets and why the lack of involvement, I think that's a conversation. I mean, Cortez Hankton is the co-offensive coordinator. I'm sure they have each other's phone number. That's a simple conversation that we can have man to man if you're trying to see what's going on with your son's targets. But I do think, like BK said, they gonna find ways to implement Chris. It's a long season. We only in week 4. If this is week 7, week 8, and he still hadn't had any involvement in the offense, I can feel his grip a little more. But if LSU really wants Chris to be an impact player in his offense, they can't just use him as a one-trick pony. No. Maybe they feel like that's all he can bring to the offense. I don't really know. But just saying we're gonna put him out there to run 9 balls or run deep posts, I just think that's easy to game plan for, and it's gonna be hard for him to get off this year. That's what the focal point is on how they're trying to use him.
I agree. Yeah, you're gonna have to have him be diverse for sure, because otherwise it's similar to, I don't want to use this because this is a very weird left field comparison, but like Taysom Hill, bro. Taysom Hill run out there, what he doing? We know. You don't want to have that type of situation where the defense can pick you out, sniff you out, and scheme you out. Let's do a recruiting update real quick. Peyton Houston, 2027 quarterback commit announced. He's committed to the Tigers. Now, don't ring the alarm bells yet. We always have to do the disclaimer now, G. There's a disclaimer, warning label on every commitment. Subject to change. TBD. What's your thoughts on this one? You think he could make his way to Baton Rouge in the end? And then let's talk about Elijah Haven after and the effects this could have.
It's a long way away, bro. He's a 2027 quarterback for people that don't know. Really, really good player. I've been watching him since he was in 9th grade. I think he started off at I forgot what high school Peyton Houston was at before he transferred to Evangel. But anyway, been watching him since he was in 9th grade. Really, really poised. A good athlete. I love the way the ball comes off his hands. He seems super, super mature. Got a good mental makeup. Elijah Haven being ranked the #1 quarterback in 2027 could possibly end up out of the state now because of this. I think it just depends on what him and his family, how they feel about having another quarterback in the state being committed in the same class. You know, you could look at this 2 ways. They could look at it and say, okay, Peyton Houston commit, so what? I think I'm better than him. I think when we both get to LSU and enroll, I'll play him and show the coaches that I'm the better quarterback and I'll win the job. Or they could be looking at it like, well, he's committing right now. Maybe they like him a little more. Maybe they have a better relationship with the staff. You know what? I'm not gonna get into a pissing match. Let me go take my talents to Texas or Florida or Georgia or Miami or whoever, USC, Oklahoma, because all these schools want Elijah Haven right now. So I think it's going to be something to monitor going forward, and we're 2 years away. They're both juniors, right? So this thing is a long way from over, but I think it's a fair question to ask. What happens with Elijah Haven now that Peyton Houston is committed to LSU, and especially so early?
Jay Woods in the chat said he was at Calvary before transferring.
Calvary. That's what he was.
It'll be interesting. At least you're in a spot now where the future, you have your prospect, you have some of the depth coming in, and you're not, fumbling at the last second like last year. And quite frankly, I think that's been, was it 2 seasons in a row without a freshman? No, I believe it's only 1 because he had Colin Hurley the year prior.
Yeah.
But you're going to have to pull one in. I mean, if it ain't going to be this year, next year, I think it could be a good little look for you. Let's talk about the AP poll. LSU's ranked. Stay at number 3. Got 2 first place votes. I'm gonna do a little re-rank. G. Here's the top 5. Popped up the whole 1 through 25 on the screen for you. I would re-rank the top 5 in this order: Ohio State, Miami, Georgia, LSU, Penn State. Here's the explanations. Ohio State, number 1. Don't have to explain it. Number 2, Miami. They're on fire, dog. Playing great, phenomenal. I don't think they should be lower than top 3. If you don't like them at 2, I could see why. 3, I can deal with that. But they gotta be in the top 3. Number 1 in the ACC, running through everybody. That's got some dogs on that squad. Georgia, I think they're a more complete team. If we, as an LSU, played them today, I don't think that they come out with a victory. With that being said, I'm going to put them over. And also, look, they got that tough win over Tennessee after going down 21-7, I believe it was. Regardless, Georgia scored a hell of a lot of points. And the question I had going into it was the offense. How are you going to get it going? Can Nate Frazier carry you on the ground? And they did damn good. So shout out to Georgia. I'd move LSU down 4 because of their performance. And then Penn State at 5 because it's not – I don't see how they're the number 2 team. I'm sorry. I don't want to disrespect them. They got Oregon in 2 weeks, though. I'm not big on putting someone at number 2, and I know I'm going to have to slide them down. They got the number 16 coming in, and I think that the Oregon Ducks are going to be better than Penn State. Now, that's just my gut feeling. It might not play out that way. What's your reaction to my top 5 and LSU staying at 3?
I think you went very far taking Penn State at the top 5.
No, Penn State was 5, but I did drop them a lot, but they're at 5. But
yeah, I think I still think you're going for putting them from 2 to 5.
Yeah.
Now I will agree with you about Miami. Miami is really, really, really good. As on the floor, O-line, D-line, stout, secondary, linebackers. You know what causing big?
Wait, hold up. G, let's try something real quick.
Miami look good. So I definitely think Miami is 3. I think they look better than LSU right now.
Let's
I
try
really
something
do.
real quick.
But
Turn your camera off. I'm sorry. Turn your camera off. It was lagging and we didn't hear none of that. Just turn the camera off and leave the audio on. I want to see if that works. My bad. But I just heard the defense is stout and you said Miami's got a lot of talent. So you're saying Miami at?
I'm back on?
Yeah, I see you back on now.
All right. What you asking?
I wanted you to talk about Miami. Where you had them ranked? What were you saying?
No, I think Miami is definitely the 3rd best team in the country, or maybe the 2nd. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. They stout in the trenches on the O-line and D-line.
Uh-huh.
Secondary, flying around, got a lot of length and athleticism back there. I love their running backs. And
Yep.
Carson Beck, you know what he bring to the table. He been balling. And I love Cristobal as a coach. So I definitely would have Miami 2 or 3. I think somebody in the AP poll that really impressed me over this weekend that could possibly end up being in that top 5 sooner than later, and they really shocked me. Texas A&M.
Yes, sir.
Texas A&M. Marcel Reed looked like he has taken another step. Marcel Reed looked like he's trending in the right direction, like I thought Lenore Sellers was going to do. And it's reversed. I thought Marcel Reed was going to be a real question mark for A&M this year, and he was going to probably need another year as a starter to take that A&M program in the right direction. But he looked like he on point, especially going against a team like Notre Dame.
Scoring a lot of points too.
And you put it
Yeah, scoring a lot of points. With the Penn State thing, got American Patriot in the chat. He was saying Penn State doesn't play anybody. When they do, they get beat. This is the thing with Penn State with me right now, because I'm on camera saying this, and this is why I just don't want to have to walk back to Common in 2 weeks. And I feel like the AP poll, it's very tough because a lot of people, it's hard to explain. You got a preseason poll that's put, everybody has all these rankings. Let's just say hypothetically, LSU was at number 9, Clemson was at number 4. Going into the season, everybody's anticipating Clemson to be a huge, huge powerhouse. They wind up not becoming that. Now they're 1 and 2. I'm just pointing out the fact that there's a lot of rankings sometimes that don't always hold value. Sometimes things are overvalued. Sometimes things are undervalued. And it's just tough for me to put a value on Penn State when I have not seen a lot of competition. So to American Patriots' point, I agree, bro. I got to see them play Oregon in 2 weeks. And I just somehow think Oregon's going to come away with it. And with that being said, if Oregon were to come away with it, then you're dropping out at least to 6 or 7. Oh, Lord, everybody going to make an edit out of that. It's just depending on where Oregon is going into that game, though. That'll be a pivotal thing. I'll give you my winners and my losers from week 4. My winners, Miami, goes without explanation, smushed South Florida. The point spread was at 17. They said, hey, yeah, watch this. Absolutely huge victory. Georgia, late win over Tennessee. Looked like an upset at first. I thought Tennessee was going to handle it. And in Neyland, Georgia came out unscathed. And then Florida State, man, number 7 in the country. Dude, nobody preseason believed in the Seminoles, man. And shout out to them because they got everybody on notice. I'm not going to lie. That's a squad. Losers for this week. Notre Dame, dog. I picked them. Unfortunately, my record will be blemished because of it. Thank you, Fighting Irish. What the hell's up with that hold? Tyler Buckner. He just slips. Ball goes out of the place. Gee, I'm holding that ball right. I promise you. Twice on Sundays. I want to ask you this question before I give the rest of my losers. I saw this rumor on Twitter. Playoff expansion, 16 teams. Everybody wants it. Notre Dame says, all right, cool. Y'all give us the 16 team. We'll join the SEC or the Big Ten. I'm calling bull. I'm calling it. I don't think that. Why? Why would they do? I'm not saying they should or shouldn't. I think it would be good. I want to see them actually play a schedule. And they'll probably, if they got 2 losses already in their independent schedule, God knows what the SEC schedule would hold for them. But do you think they're really going to do that?
Yeah, I totally didn't have intentions on joining the SEC. And look, it makes sense. If you man the playoff 16 team, the SEC, because if I lose 2 or 3 games, I'm not ready to get them. So I get it.
Yeah, that strength of schedule tactic, the 9 conference games, the Power 4 ranked quality opponent or whatever the case may be, they're going to be the most considered conference in college football, the SEC, in terms of this college football playoff, especially as it expands. Before we hop out of here, G, I want to talk to you about this. I want to pick your brain because looking at this top 25, as of week 4, LSU has 4 of the top 15 on their schedule, big dog. They got Texas A&M, they got Ole Miss, they got Vandy, they got Alabama, and they got Oklahoma. Matter of fact, that's 5. Now that I do my math correctly, oh my God, 5 of their next opponents are in the top 15. ESPN, they do a little bit of a predictor. They do like here's the chance that you have to win. Saints have a whatever chance to win. Sunday, it would have been 0%. Sorry, too soon. Anyway, let's be serious. ESPN only gives, out of those 5 games, LSU will win against Texas A&M. Dog, they say predictor-wise, Ole Miss will beat them, Vandy will beat them, Alabama will beat them, and Oklahoma. Oh, my God. The only 2 losses I can realistically see in that is Alabama and A&M. I think they get the rest. Predict that stretch for me, dog. Because that's a gauntlet, but really, they 1-4 through those 5. Come on, now ESPN. Come on.
Yeah, nah, they play Ole Miss the week after next. Austin Simmons is hurt. I don't know how serious his injury is. It looked like something is going on with his knee, but I thought it was very impressive for Ole Miss to still go out there and win that game with their backup quarterback who threw for over 300 yards, and I think he threw for 3 touchdowns. So. Nah, when he play against LSU, do I think he'll be able to still do the same thing? Absolutely not. So if they don't have Austin Simmons, I just don't see Ole Miss beating LSU. I just don't see it. I don't see it. A&M, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. The way Marcel Reed looked with them weapons, with Carver and Conception and the 2 running backs, Ruben Owens and Le'Veon Moss. They look really good on offense, and Marcel Reed looked like he has taken another step. Mm-hmm. So that's a good thing about it. They got him in Death Valley. So I think I could see them losing one out of these next 4. I have no clue.
Talking about your point, they got him in Death Valley. The last 7 years, if I did my math correctly, last 7 years, the home team has won that game in that series. If it's in Kyle Field, it'll go to A&M. If it's in Death Valley, it'll go to LSU. Interesting stuff. We got a nice little gauntlet prepared for us here as the SEC play. Unravel Southeastern versus LSU this Saturday. Ole Miss versus LSU next week. G, I'm on the road, bro. I'm taking a road trip. I got to do it. It's only 4.5 hours. We're going to pop out. We're going to pop out of Magnolia. Magnolia Bowl, the Grove, I think they call it over there in Oxford. They already have their hotel sold out. High commodity. Number 3 versus number 13. Everybody ready, G. I don't know where I'm gonna be sleeping, but we're gonna be figuring it out. Gotta be there.
If it's anything like it was the year before last when they played him in Oxford, it went down. I'm talking what the final score was 52-56.
And then, bro, the year before, Tiger Stadium, old ticket right here, bro. Walk-off touchdown, K2, 100 years in Tiger Stadium, man. Last year went down to the wire. Ole Miss and LSU, they have some battles. Matter of fact, I'm gonna even knock it back again because before the battle in Ole Miss last time when they had the 50-point game, the year before that, Ole Miss was ranked number 9 and came into Death Valley and lost, and they rushed the field. That was before they did the Bro, these games are always stacked. The SEC is going to be interesting. It's picking up this week. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. Going to be live again Wednesday at 1 p.m. Y'all know the drill. Hit that thumbs up. Go follow us on social media. Appreciate your time, G. Y'all have a good one.